Hi, Bug Monster Mitch. This video is about different characters, different creations that came from Jim Henson's Creature Workshop. The question I've got is, remember in the movie The Muppets, the Muppet movie from the 70s or 80s? The more recent will be The Muppets with Jason Segel, Amy Adams, where they take Walter to Muppet Studios, that movie. In that movie, there's a song, I believe is titled Man or Muppet, and Sheldon from Big Bang Theory takes part of the song. Basically, the whole song is, am I a man or a Muppet? Um, so I'm kind of flipping that a little bit, asking, are these creations just creations or can they fall under the Muppet category, especially since they came from uh, Jim Henson's Creature Shop organization, whatever. Now, at least one of these creations happened in Jim Henson's lifetime. Actually, two of them. One happened in the 80s, and the second one happened in the early 90s, just prior to his death. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'll explain as I go along. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as we know, the Muppets are created by Jim Henson and his Creatures Up. Like I said already in this video, what we typically consider to be Muppet characters are none other than Kermit the Frog, Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Scooter, Dr. Teeth and the Band, Electric Mayhem, Animal, characters like that. So, this video is other creatures, other characters Jim Henson and his had a hand in, such as, hey, the Dark Crystal characters. Are they Muppets? Or are they something else? And for all these, if they're not Muppets, what are they? Because to me, they are. If they came from Jim Henson's head or his Creature Shop, I'm sorry, they are. So that answers that question in my realm of possibilities. But I'd like to know in the comments, um, what do you think? So another group that came from Creature Shop, and this, like I said, is just prior to his death in the early 90s, 1990 and 1991. Jim Henson and his shop and his group created the Teenage Mutant Turtles for the first two Teenage Mutant Turtles movies. I say the first two because the last, well, not the last, but the third live action Turtles movie in the 90s, the powers that be with over that movie decided to go a different route and use a different um, organization to create the mechanics and the costumes or suits, whatever you want to consider them, and the quality show. I'll just leave it at that. Not that the movie overall is bad, just in the third movie for sure, the quality of the mechanics of the suits of the show. So, and as a matter of fact, hanging on to the first two Turtles movies for a moment longer before Secret of the Ooze starts. They have the notice text rather in loving memory or in memory of Jim Henson, just like the next um, set of creatures I will discuss, and that is the dinosaurs from the 90s TGIF sitcom titled Dinosaurs. Now, this was after Jim Henson passed away, but his shop built and created the dinosaurs, creatures, and all that. As a matter of fact, as the story goes, Henson had come up with the concept not long before he passed. So if he was living, they would still do it. Brian Henson, his son, um, decided to go through with it in honor of his father, and the show was picked up by ABC Network. Um, it ran 3 or 4 seasons. It's on Disney Plus if you'd like to go watch it. I don't know how many episodes it was or is total, but probably like 20 or 25 episodes per season. Like I said, 3 or 4 seasons worth of episodes for the show. Um, Labyrinth with David Bowie, that came from Jim Henson's Feature Shop, and I believe I already mentioned, yes, The Dark Crystal. So a lot of these creatures and effects that Jim Henson had a hand in, he pretty much wanted to go off and do anyway. Um, so in that case, I consider them Muppets, maybe unofficially, and they don't fall under the Muppet name brand, but they are Muppets. One last creature we need to discuss in this video is none other than Yoda from that galaxy far, far away. Um, yes, Yoda was created, the Yoda puppet was created in Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Not only that, but performed and voiced by none other than Jim Henson's partner, right hand man, so to speak, Frank Oz, who also performed Muppets such as Piggy and Gonzo, not Gonzo, I'm sorry, Fozzie and Animals. So, yeah, that's just a handful of, to me, like I said, unofficial Muppet creation from Jim Henson's workshop. I'm sure I missed some or didn't talk about some that, you could think of that maybe I didn't or didn't want to bring up because I didn't want this video to be super long. Um, there are more, I'm sure, that we can talk about down in the comments. So go ahead and do that, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourselves and each other. Love each other. Have a good day, good evening, and I'll talk to you with another video. Thank you.